Welcome back to Talkers on the Wall. We are here to discuss the Season 4 finale of Invincible, the PTSD montage, essentially. I've got some thoughts, not nearly as many as Cole, I'm sure. You know, I've read the comics. I feel like I say that every video, but it is relevant to any review I give of the TV show because I'm working from, additional knowledge. Unfortunately, Schmitty's not here, so we can't have two of the blind reacts, kind of thoughts. But I do want to know what your thoughts on it. You had a lot of thoughts about a lot of different plot lines that kind of got wrapped up in this episode.
Yep.
So how do you think the season ended? Definitely not on a bang, but what do you think?
So, hear me out, right? I'm gonna keep it a bug with you. This is the best episode of the season.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you're a big character guy, and this is an all character.
Yep. So I think this is as a well-rounded episode as Invincible as you'll get as a character standpoint, and like he just said, I'm a slut for characters. I just think we'll just go off rip. It's Thragg's best episode as a character.
Yeah.
I think the whole plot point of him saving or sparing Mark and Nolan and even Oliver to an extent,
Oliver, when he's told not to kill the guy called Oliver Destroyer 3000.
Yeah. But I just thought it was great. I was confused. I was like, what is going to happen?
Mm-hmm.
And then they go to Earth. And when I thought, because it was big, at that last episode, they're going to Earth. I thought when they got there.
Yeah.
Because I will not lie, I got a lot of Twitter spoilers. A lot of it was bait because of the hallucinations.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, yeah. But and then I thought when they got to Earth, they were going to be there in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very happy. That Thragg Mark conversation at the end of it, god damn, that was like peak shading compared to what we've got in the past with art.
Yeah.
Thragg sounds charismatic as hell, almost like fierce but vulnerable in a way. I thought Mark panicked very well. I thought it was a great build-up of how he's hitting the Robin Slade. He's everywhere.
It is very believable.
Yeah. I'll go into that. I thought the Mark Thragg that conversation was a banger. One of my favorite conversations and scenes in all of Invincible.
No, for sure. To me, watching that scene on screen, it felt very much like this is going to be maybe a reach. But sometimes in D&D, when we get presented with the worst choices, and it's you just got to pick the best of the worst case scenario, that's what it really felt like. It's there's no good decision for me to pick right now.
Yeah.
So it's you could really feel, at least in that way, in Mark's shoes, if you've ever been in a D&D session.
Yeah,
and
that's fair.
The big bad villain of the campaign or something is well, you can have this, or you can have that. I'm there's no good option.
That's true.
It felt very satisfying for sure.
Great conversation there. Big Mark and Eve episode.
Yeah. How'd you feel about, the storyline of, Eve getting bigger and, there's the abortion storyline and all that relationship stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it is sad. I mean...
I will say, in one of the earlier reviews when we were getting ready for this season, this is one of those storylines where I was it feels very soap opera.
Yeah. It does to an extent, but I don't think it's over the top or forced or anything. Mm-hmm. I mean,
I do think it's a little bit better in the show than it was in the comic, for me personally, at least.
I thought that was done very well. I think it's so Mark to blame himself as well.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really good for his character. Shit. He beats Conquest, but it's just been really nothing but else. But that's the status quo. But
when You get the choice. You take the pill to become a superhero, but then you wake up in Mark's body. Fuck!
Yeah. That was great.
Yeah.
And then going into it as well, I was very big on, like, no Nolan and Debbie, but if they're going to do it, it's got to take seasons. But...
Bro's getting that get back, my boy. Nolan.
Just don't let it happen next season. Make it. It's got to be a whole season of development. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care how much time. They unless they get 2 fucking dedicated episodes of, talk it out in space.
You say that now, but next season when they give Nolan that Vegeta cut, you'll be like, okay, I guess he can have Bulma.
Well, I mean, I don't. It's gonna sound really bad, but I don't really like. Watch Dragon Ball for, like, the elite level of, like...
Storytelling?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just really cool tension moments of how they use the Dragon Balls in the early arcs. Yeah. But we're not going to get into that Dragon Ball.
It is really an interesting conversation because, like, even in, like, everyday life or, like, real relationship, it's like, where do you draw the line for second chances, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean... but yeah, I mean, there is a lot of weight to that, but
yeah, and it's
just all about development. It's about how they rush it. It's about, like, how well it's seasoned.
It was very lame. I do think that how they got rid of Paul. Like,
God,
they were just,
that was so stupid.
They were just like, just didn't work out. It's like, that was lame. I thought there would be, like, something more to it, or maybe they're gonna branch off, but it does seem like they just wanted to give him more character to do less with.
Yeah.
It felt like they were building him up to be something better, but no.
Well, what if he's gonna be a comic only villain or a story?
Show,
yeah. No, but Paul got done dirty. I wonder. I don't think it'll be the last we see of Paul, but
finish last, guys.
I wouldn't be surprised if that motherfucker probably had, like, a total of 10 minutes of screen time next season at the max.
If even that,
at the max.
I mean, now that Debbie's gone, he has, like, no purpose.
Yeah.
Because she's leaving Earth, you know. And unless Mark starts going to him for, like, parental advice, but I
could see it.
I guess. I will say, I mean, I wasn't expecting it because it didn't happen in the comic, but, like, Mark didn't confront Cecil about Conquest.
Yeah, I was really, like, I guess he was just...
too worried about the Thragg stuff.
Yeah, and, like, the Eve
yeah.
dump. I was like, they gonna do it? And then he's like, Cecil, you said you had guys that could help with this, right?
Yeah. I also really like the conversation between Cecil and Nolan coming from, like, that, like, protector of the planet that Cecil thinks he is.
Yeah.
And, Omni-Man, and how, he's like, again, it's like, how far do second chances go? Because he's like, I risked my life to stop this war to save Earth.
Yeah.
And he's like,
do that 2,000 more times. And then I saw someone on Twitter, what do you mean by that?
Yeah. And it is very, like, powerful because, I mean, like, he saved them, but it's really hard. It's, like...
Yeah.
Yeah,
it is. It is, like, that's what really good storytelling does. Yeah. And, it's one of the big moments of characters. It's just, like, you have this character that does these, like, horrific things. You see it in Game of Thrones all the time, these nasty characters, but you're like, why the fuck do I care about you?
Yeah.
And that's the same thing with Nolan. And it's just, that's just what good storytelling does. It makes you really appreciate some of the most horrific people. And can they be redeemed? Are they just going to go more further
makes you ask
into
yourself, it makes you question yourself, maybe if Nolan could do it, so can I.
Yeah, maybe.
It makes people, like, but basically what I mean is it just gets, like, people thinking about, like, that sort of stuff. And, like, I think a good redemption arc is always good because it makes you reflect on yourself, basically.
No, yeah, and I think it's a really cool thing to, like, almost not, like, because the characters in a typical redemption arc accept the apology, but almost you as the audience accepts it as well and moves on with the character.
Right.
And that is beautiful when it's done really well. And I mean, as a comic reader, I mean, shoot me in the head 5 times if I'm wrong, but I'm gonna imagine that this redemption arc carries on. But where would you like rank if you had to like put like an S, A, B, C for Nolan's redemption?
It's tough. It's tough for sure. I mean,
are we talking like Jaime Lannister level redemption?
I mean, I never thought Jaime Lannister was all that cool anyway. Probably like an 8. It's probably on the same level as like Vegeta at the end of Buu Saga when he like sacrifices himself.
Yeah.
It's like at the end, like when Vegeta's killing himself to kill Majin Buu, you're like, okay, this time he maybe has finally learned his lesson. And I think that's what you get from Omni-Man is like this comic goes on. He's like sometimes it's like he starts falling back into old habits. And then, like, he keeps, like, trying and stuff. And then, like, you know, by the time the comic ends, you feel like he has changed. And it wasn't an easy process. So, it's, like, satisfying. I don't think it touches, like, the redemption arc of, say, like, Zuko.
Yeah.
For instance.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That is an S tier.
That's, like, S tier. You know, there are a lot of great redemption arcs just in media in general.
And we could do a whole honest, like, during, like, our dry season, if there's not, like, a lot of weekly releases coming out, we could do it just a straight up redemption arc
tier list.
At its best. Yeah. Or a tier list. Yeah, I'd be down with that.
I would give it probably a strong A, maybe a B+.
Yeah.
There are things that I really like. I think it falls victim to like comic book writing in some aspects, so maybe the TV show will fix that where in like one like issue he does something and it feels like in the next issue he does something totally contrary to what he just did. So, but I mean it just goes to show that like the character is very like complex.
Flawed.
As much as he's trying to change, he still has old habits. So, yeah, I mean I think one of the greatest character developments that I do think is S tier is actually Alan in the comic. He changes and develops so much that by the end of the comic, he is such a different person than he is from the start when you first introduce him.
Interesting.
I think that character arc is probably the best in Invincible.
Wow. I can't combat that.
No,
Yeah, but the audience can.
Yeah, I mean, you guys let me know, for anybody who's read the comic, if you think somebody else has a better character arc than Alan. I personally, like, even if you don't like what they do with this character, I think it's a very great character arc.
Yeah. Bro literally has the Scourge at his disposal.
True.
It's going to be very interesting to see what he does with that.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, I mean, let's see. Because it was big Adam, Eve, and Mark.
Yep.
Mark and Thragg, Nolan, Debbie, and then Mark hallucination. That's basically the bones of it.
Cecil Nolan for that scene.
Yeah. And then Cecil and Mark. Yeah. It is interesting. It's like, because, I mean, they just go back and forth all the time with like, I hate you, we're partners. I hate you, we're partners. Mark and Cecil.
It's like a real job.
Yeah, real. But, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Is there... okay, we'll go ratings. Because that's what we consistently have done with the episodes. We might do next week like a full season review.
Yeah, maybe.
Depending on how burnt out we are with this.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say off rip this episode. As soon as I watched it, I gave it an 8. I'd probably say closer to 8.4.
Yeah, I would give this episode a strong 8. It's one that you just watch for the character moments. And you, now that you've seen it, you watch it waiting for that final scene with Thragg and Mark.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, it's so good. All this build-up, it makes it so much more worth it. And the comic, too, it's different because as soon as they get to Earth, Thragg is just there waiting to give them the ultimatum. I like that they put it at the end of this episode to where Mark is like, oh, I'll go clear my head. And then he finds him just, like, waiting.
Yeah.
I think that was done a lot better. You get to see, the Viltrumites starting to blend in with society.
Yeah.
And it does make you feel almost basically as helpless as Mark. Because it's like, what other option do I have? It's like, stop them because they are, like, maybe not necessarily evil, but contrary to what everything Mark believes in.
Yeah.
Or let this play out and delay the inevitable, essentially. And yeah, it's really like I have no choice, but like Thragg says, he still has to make one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So very good.
I'll end kind of like my last breath on the whole Thragg character now. Worried at first.
Yep.
Cool moments.
Or on hype moments.
I would say I'm bought in. I'm bought in on Thragg.
I'm in. 1.3 seconds.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Took a second.
It was a slow burn, but I felt like people that saw the first 2 episodes of Thragg and you're like, oh my god, that is the fucking coolest character I've ever fucking seen.
Thragg, I never had you on Fraud Watch.
Yeah.
Check my phone.
Yeah. It's like that. Come on, bro. It's like strong characters can be strong, but it doesn't make them intimidating or good.
Yeah. Do you think he's better than Conquest now?
It's close. I think I'd have to really sit with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I do want to know what you guys think about a lot of things we were talking about in this episode. How you feel about Nolan's redemption arc, character development, and Invincible in general. I think it's a pretty good comic for character development.
Yeah.
There's a lot of characters that change throughout the series. I think unfortunately Mark suffers from main character syndrome where he's not allowed to change too drastically sometimes.
Yeah. That's why rivals are always better. Sasuke, Shadow, Vegeta.
He, like Mark, don't get me wrong, definitely changes throughout the comic. But maybe it's just because you spend so much more time with him. It's like, it's so slow you don't notice it. But yeah, I think that the side characters are really where the character development shines.
Sure.
You got Robot, Alan, Nolan, Thragg even, Oliver. Let us know in the comments what you guys think about this season in general, the final episode, and everything. I just want to hear what you guys are thinking.
Wanted to say a big thank you to everyone who's been watching the weekly releases of these episodes and these reviews for Invincible. Been a very big series for the channel. And I hope you stick around. We're going to be talking about all types of different series. I mean, Brayden and Smitty will be working on The Boys. Yep. We'll be covering a lot of DCU, MCU, Dune. There's just a lot of stuff in the pipeline, superhero related, that we're going to be covering, and we hope you join us on the wall. And you'll have a good one.